of all, welcome to Lebanon for those that are coming from outside Lebanon. I really believe that this is more of a divine coincidence to be, and synchronicity we call it, to have this press conference today in this time in Lebanon. We believe that Lebanon, the last months, the last years, and especially the last week, we have seen the climax of a lot of issues coming to a point of a very high degree, of a very intense degree. Both of them are the result, both problems. One is pure social, a social problem between laborers and the business world, and another problem which is pure political, can be attributed to a major paralysis in our decision-making processes. And all of this came from a deep, deep defect in our social contract. One would say that the deficiency of our social contract led us to this level of paralysis. Having said this, I liked a lot what I learned today from His Excellency Lubert regarding what we are discovering every day more and more, that the responsibility, that the governance role and responsibility is not on politicians only, and it is on our companies and societies. Here in Lebanon, we have lived this the last 50 years because we could not depend really on the politicians. So, with all my respect to politicians. So, at Endafco Group, for instance, if I want to talk a little bit about Endafco Group, we have had our motto 50 years ago saying, what's good for the company, what's good for society is good for the company. That was our motto 50 years ago. And this, I would think, was a great inspiration for my father, who was the founder, because that is the start, as you said, Mr. In your speech today, that everything starts with the identification of a need, and our society in Lebanon is full of needs. So this is why Endafco Group used this leading idea to grow. At the same time, our social responsibility, we focused a lot on the objective, on the individual being the real objective of the exercise, and not a tool. Sometimes people tend to reverse the things and make the individuals at the service of building empires or building companies. Actually, it's the opposite. We are at the service of the individual. This is the objective of a society. Mankind decided to live in a community because he wanted to create his own security, but at the same time, his self-development and actualization. At Endafco Group, we did focus on 5 or 6 social dimensions. We tried to focus on building bridges between religions in Lebanon. This is why we did sponsor a TV station that you probably heard about, which is Nursat or Tele Lumiere, which works a lot on bringing together, on highlighting the values of different faiths, starting from the Christian faith, but also looking at all other faiths and see where is the common denominators. Because if we want to build our national pact again in Lebanon, there is no way but to go back to the divine and religious values, because they are united, as you said, sir. Now, another dimension of our social contract at Endafco Group, we did focus on education, and we tried to intervene in a smart way. We tried to bridge. We found out that there is a gap between the villages in Lebanon and the National University, which is in Beirut. So you had students that wanted to attend those universities had to relocate and spend a lot of money. So what we did is we built a network of buses that is now moving children and students from those villages to those universities for some time. A third dimension, we found out that there was a deficiency in our public school at kindergartens and the first 5 years of schooling. To offset this, we did build a free school for kindergarten in villages. And this has been, I think, a very good way of helping the first years of children. I believe that all of these are important, but the most important is what to do with the key pillars of an organization. I think the most important responsibility that a leader has, a manager has, is his own team. And we believe at Endavco Group that our social work starts at home, starts in the organization itself. It is those people, those individuals that are making the difference in our daily life and the results of our society who are really should be our focus every day. This is why we have distilled the last 50 years of Endavco modus operandi and came out with a set of values, which I would like only to list them in front of you without going in detail because it will take another hour for this. Our 7 values came out from the ground. They are not like theoretical values. We lived them and then we distilled them and wrote them. The first one is the servant leadership, because we believed that it is the leaders who are at the service of their mission, and it is not the opposite. The worst thing is when you reverse this, and this is really the start of the end, if this happens. The second one, the second value, is the family spirit, because we believe that in an organization, we are not numbers. We are a big family. The leader is a father, and he's a tough father, but he is a father. He looks at everyone individually, because God is not an industrialist. He does not make things in masses. He is a customizer. A third dimension, a third value is honesty. As you know, in this part of the world, it's so important to be honest, because we have a lot of shortcuts that might look like it's a shortcut, but at the long run, it is important to stay honest. A fourth dimension is modesty. We do believe that being modest is a very important criteria for self-preservation and to really know our limits. Our fifth dimension is hard work, because we believe that hard work is always pays. 6, it is precision. We do believe that this part of the world, we do suffer from a lack of precision in timing, in description, in thinking. So we believe that focusing on this has a lot of merit. The last but not least is the entrepreneurial spirit, because we do believe that unleashing energies from every individual is so important, and building a system that captures this and allows this to happen is a source of value creation. I think I talked more than 10 minutes. So thank you very much.